The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Knapik and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Knapik.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Knapik. Thank you for joining us for show number 555, and it is show number 3 in terms of our Go Western, our Go Texan edition. So we're glad you joined us here on this beautiful afternoon. Stewart.com/radio is the website in case you want to revisit the show or see the guests, the YouTube videos that we put forth, and also all the show archives. All the numbers are there. 554, 523. All the shows are there at Stewart.com/radio. So let's get down to business and talk to real estate professionals right here in the Houston area. We're going to start with Rishi Naran. His company is the Naran Group. Rishi, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here today.
It's awesome to see you. First of all, the Naran Group. Rishi, you are a real estate professional right here in Houston. Let's tell people about your company.
Yeah, so we're the Naran Group. We are brokered by eXp Realty. We love where we're at with that. So we actually are a mother and son team. So my mom's not here today, but mom and I work together. She's got all the experience, 18, 20 years doing this. She's seen everything, the ups, the downs, the good, the bad, every inch of this. So for us, it keeps us very calm, very grounded. We understand that what's happening today is all cyclical. Some people feel like it's the end of the world, or vice versa, it's the greatest time ever. But we also understand that this is a cycle, it's a process. So we're Houston residents. We've been here for 35 plus years. So, we do focus in Fort Bend County mainly. That's where we grew up. For those of you who know the area, we know Sugar Land before the mall was there, before the tornado hit, when the Fort Bend County Fairgrounds were where town center is, all of those things. So we really know the area well. But outside of that, we've been around Houston. We've seen this city explode into one of the greatest cities on the planet. And we're able to sell around most of the city. If we're not comfortable, we're going to be honest about it, though.
Well, let's go back as far as Sugar Land. It's kind of interesting. I was just in the town center, or whatever they call the square, and to talk to someone that knows that geographic space before that was even there, that's going way back. But let's tell people, as far as where you're focused on and some of the towns, and like Sugar Land is one, right? So what's going on in the Sugar Land area right now as far as real estate goes? Yeah,
so in terms of real estate, it's still one of those parts of town where it's very active. I mean, people want to go there. The school districts are very highly rated. The community is great. People move there to really move there and put their roots down. It's not just about coming there for a few years and going somewhere else. When they're coming out to Sugar Land, or really any suburb around Houston, Cypress, Katy, etc., they're going there to put their roots down, raise families, create that community environment where they don't have to come into the city outside of work. And so you're seeing a lot of people who want to stay there for a long time, but too, a lot of families are coming. And with all that combination, you're seeing a pretty strong market. I mean, home value is still steady. The good homes in Sugar Land, they hit the market, and good luck sometimes. So it is a very stable market. It doesn't see as many waves as some of the other parts of the city do. And obviously, it is known for safety and security, et cetera. So we also, I live in Missouri City in Siena, but I'm like right on the border of Sugar Land, so I'm just right there every day. I office out of Sugar Land, and it's home to us, and we love it. But it's a great place to raise a family. It's where I was raised. It's where, my extended family lives. Everything's happening there for our side and our family, so we love it.
It really is a nice place. There's no doubt. As I said, I was just there recently. Also, as far as, again, let's take Sugar Land. In terms of existing homes, yes, they're there. But what about new construction? Is there new construction in the area?
Not too much. So I think Imperial is going to be the area where you're going to have the most recent construction. If you go out toward Richmond and Rosenberg, there's a lot of communities out there. I mean, tons popping up. If you just drive down 59, you'll see it's 4 or 5 lanes wide all the way down for almost 30, 40 miles south of Sugar Land at this point. So the expansion area is there, but to be in Sugar Land proper, really your newer communities going to be Riverstone. Those are still about, I'm getting on 10 years old now. Imperial's about 5 to 6 years old at this point. There are some very small areas, some people taking, tearing homes down and rebuilding them back up. But in general, it's more established. It's a very established community.
And right now, as you're helping both buyers and sellers, are you helping maybe more buyers or sellers? What's the ratio these days?
Currently, I'm helping more buyers just time of year. I mean, people really aren't wanting to list their houses middle of the school year, spring break, all that. But that'll start changing. So in this current moment, more buyers. As summer comes on, there'll be more sellers at that point.
And in addition to the area there in Sugar Land, what are some of the other surrounding communities that we should know about?
Yeah, I think if you look at just Fort Bend County in general, it's massive. So you can go from Katy down to Missouri City. That's going to be almost an hour drive. So it's a very wide area, a wide net that you cast when you say you know Fort Bend County, because it's not just a small little blip in Houston. But really, you look at around Sugar Land, you have Rosenberg, you have Richmond, you have Missouri City. In Missouri City, where I live in Sienna, that's one of the big master plan communities right now. If you're coming down, going up 59, I mean, you just name it. There's a builder out there right now doing something over there. So, in general, the beauty of it is that it's closer to the city as well too compared to other parts of town. So, without traffic, which we know in Houston is always the biggest, if that's ever going to happen, it's only about 20 minutes toward this area where we're at right now in the Galleria. And
you mentioned a few minutes ago about Imperial. That is, for those listening outside of Houston, the Houston area, that's Imperial Sugar, right?
Correct. It's right near where the old sugar factory used to be. Obviously, that's been decommissioned and shut down. They did announce they're going to redevelop it into something new, which is great. But, yeah, right next door to that, there's a community that was built over there. The Space Cowboys, almost at Skeeter's, what they used to be called. Their ballpark's in Imperial. There's a great brewery out there called Tall Yard Brewing. So, again, it's also a very vibrant community.
All these shows that we've done and all the people from Sugar Land that we've had on, in all the years I've lived here, I don't know if I'm not the smartest guy in the room here, Rishi, but I think I'm making a connection. So did the name Sugar Land come from having the 100%. Holy smokes.
Imperial Sugar, yes.
Imperial Sugar, the mystery is over, at least in my mind.
Yes, it is.
How about that?
Exactly. That's where it's coming from.
I didn't know.
It was funny. We used to travel a bunch, and anytime we were younger, we used to see Imperial Sugar and get excited because it's from our hometown.
How sweet it is, right?
Touche.
That is awesome. And now how long has the sugar plant not been operating?
It's
decades.
Been a while. Not decades, probably 15 years is what my guess is, but somewhere in back when I didn't pay attention enough to where I was and I was more of a college student, didn't really care about anything besides myself, that's when I shut down somewhere around that time.
That's pretty awesome. So there's a strong market in the Sugar Land area, Fort Bend, there's no doubt about that.
Correct.
And as we unfold here in the next couple months, as we go through the year, we're going to expect some new listings to be happening. So if people are thinking about the area in a few months, that's a good time for them.
Absolutely it is. And, like I say, a lot of people come down because of schools, and the school districts are very highly rated. I mean, people who go to schools there. I didn't go to FBISD myself, say for 2 years. I went to a private school, but at the end of the day, all of my neighbors, our family, friends, they rave about it. So it's comfortable. And like I said, people they don't really move often.
Well, give us an idea also, as you're helping people that want to move to your area or as you're helping them in other parts of the city, how often are you helping people from out of state?
Initially it wasn't as often, but it's starting to become more frequent for our team. I think as we grow our business, as we get more word of mouth through referrals, family, friends, people talk a lot about Houston and how great it is and cost of living and just list all the reasons why we all love the city. People start to move here. So I think I would almost say it's almost a 50-50 split now between people locally and people coming in here right now.
And then how are they finding out about your company?
Really just through our past clients, our families, our friends, our network. That's the majority of where we get our business. We usually get calls or texts, hey, my friend, my family member is moving down, looking for a realtor. Can you help them out? And we have a call with them, make sure that their needs and wants fit what we're going to deliver, because at the end of the day, it needs to work. Otherwise, it's going to be a really poor experience. And when someone's moving down and uprooting their entire life, you want this side of the process to be as seamless as it comes so they can focus on getting settled and starting up their new life here, not worried about what do my realtors say? What, how are they treating me, et cetera, et cetera.
We're talking with Rishi Naran, the Naran Group right here in the Houston area. Give us an idea before we close the segment. What else do you want people to know?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when it comes to real estate in Houston, right, people can read a lot about how the market could be, what the data shows. At the end of the day, the pulse of this market's really in the people. That's the story of the city, really. It's always the people here. I read something recently where Houston is one of the lowest rated cities for tourists, but one of the highly rated cities for people who live here. And I think that's true with real estate too. Talk to the people who live here, who work here, who are experts here. When you're coming to move here, move within the city, go find someone who knows the areas, because that'll give you the right pulse as to what's happening. The data will show what the data is going to show, but we vary so much in home quality and size and location that it really does take the right kind of people to live here, work here, and transact here and help you move here or move within the city.
When you're not helping people in the Sugarland, Fort Bend area, what other areas do you hit on a regular basis? A
regular basis, a lot in the Galleria area, Tanglewood area especially. We do a lot over in Spring Valley and Spring Branch as well too. Those are kind of the two areas. And then Midtown, I think, just based on my age and where my friends are in life, a lot of people are living east downtown, midtown, all that area, and trying to move out toward the suburbs as well, this part of their lives, kids, new jobs, etc.
That's one of the great things about the Sugarland Fort Bend area is 59, Highway 59, also known as 69, brings you right into all the areas that you're talking about. You being downtown in short order.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So, yeah, I think, in terms of that, our team is here. There's a bunch of great realtors in Houston, though I will say that I will encourage everybody to do your research and find the right person that works for you. And
let's tell people if they want to call you, Rishi, what's the phone number?
Yep. My number is 281-772-2968. That goes right to the phone in my pocket, and it's pretty much on me all the time. 281-772-2968. And our website is www.naranproperties.com, NARANPROPERTIES.com.
Rishi Naran, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me here.
As we continue, let's talk to Candace Gilbert. Her company is called Realty One. Candace, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Bill. I'm honored to be here.
And for those, again, going to Stewart.com/radio, checking out the YouTube video. Candace has a Western hat on, just like I do. Kind of like we're friends, right?
That's right. I came prepared.
You did come prepared. So first of all, Candace, let's tell people about your company, Realty One.
Realty One Group, I am with the brokerage Realty One Group Experience, and we have over 450 offices globally, 18,000 agents strong. My office in particular, with Jill Daniels, we are definitely agent-based. We're known for our 100% commission. As far as the model and commissions, it's 100% to the agents. Your commission is what you have to give out is based on a scale depending on what you sell.
So it makes it attractive to attract top agents, quality realtors around the area.
For sure.
That's awesome. So give us an idea geographically where let's say in the last 20 transactions, where you've been geographically the most.
I think the sweet spot for me would be 350,000. And as far as area, it would be Conroe and the Woodlands area. And I grew up in Houston, so a lot of my sphere is located there. The south part of Houston, Sage area, Pasadena, just Sugarland. Yeah.
And if someone's not from Houston, they're listening from afar, let's say Pennsylvania, who knows where. But Conroe, about how far is that? Describe Conroe a little bit and why it's so attractive, because that's another hot area.
It is one of the fastest growing areas in Montgomery County as well. It's just north of downtown Houston. So location-wise, it's north of Houston, south of Huntsville.
So that's a good area.
Yes.
And one of the things I think about when I think of Conroe and Montgomery County in terms of some of the diversity in terrain and things we have to offer as being the Houston area, there's lakes up there and even some forests and some nice communities.
Yes, Sam Houston National Park is gorgeous this time of year. The communities, there's a host of new construction communities in Conroe, as well as its neighboring cities as well. So it's a beautiful spot, and it's growing exponentially so.
And then you have another thing that I think people, not just around the United States, but even around the world, know about the Woodlands. So Conroe is not far from the Woodlands, which is also very attractive, right?
Yes, it is.
So and right now, give us an idea of the marketplace. How active is the market for buyers and sellers up there? What's your experience been?
My experience, I am very passionate about our first-time home buyers, and that is where a lot of my customer sphere is based right now. But in regards to the new construction, it's really growing a lot there because there's so much land. That's where I experience most of my clientele coming in and buying.
And if you're listening in the year 2028, that land may be gone by then. What do you think?
Correct.
Don't
wait. Do not wait.
Buy now, right?
Buy now.
And that's the thing that we have, I think, still in some areas as we go outside of Houston. There's a lot of land still around, but there's a lot of people moving in and a lot of companies moving in.
Right.
Give us an idea as far as when you said you were in the 350 range. You've done a lot of work here lately. Mm-hmm. So for 350, if I said, hey, Candace, I have 350,000, what kind of selection would I have? Let's just take Conroe, for example. Mm-hmm. Do I have a choice in just pre-existing homes or new construction as well at that price point?
You get your pick of the litter on both, for sure. At that price point, you would be able to settle in something very nice, I would say, for first-time home buyers or even those who are looking to purchase their second home. It's a great price point.
So it's a good price point. So right now, are you helping people outside of Houston that are coming in to the city, or just mostly those that are already here?
I am open to doing that, but most of my past clients, I've even helped them move out of the area. Selling their home, going to Dallas was one of my recent transactions, and another couple who was relocating to Austin. And even Arizona was another transaction. So me personally, I'm experiencing them going outward, and I'm helping them, sell their beloved home and find the right buyer for it. But I would, definitely am open to helping those coming in from out of state or country.
That's interesting. I always like to know why people, where they're coming from. And then also sometimes we forget to talk about the people that move to other places, other states, because that happens every day.
That's correct. Yeah, relocation is, I'm your relocation realtor too.
You are. That is good to know. So as far as all the things you could be doing, Candace, here you are, Candace Gilbert, serving in a tremendous way the real estate community there. Of all the things, why did you pick real estate to focus on?
I have a criminal justice background, but I have an entrepreneurial spirit. I always have. My mom told me I could sell ice water to the devil, especially since I was selling chips and honey buns in high school. So I tapped into that after selling and purchasing my first home and going through the process of selling a home with a cousin of mine. And I decided that, I was very passionate about helping first-time home buyers become homeowners. I believe that it starts with education and understanding that they too can have that ability of becoming a homeowner, no matter how young you are or old you are. A lot of our clients my age or younger think they're not capable of, getting their credit right or saving, and think they need $20,000 to purchase a home. And that's just not so, so it starts with education for me.
And that's a good point. The first-time home buyer is a certain market all on its own. Mm-hmm. So do you find when you approach that, or when people come to you and they say, man, I've been renting here for the last 5 years or so, and I don't know if I'm prepared to buy a house. Do you run into that, as well as when you see someone that maybe that's been in an apartment for a long time? Do you tell them about, hey, it's not that hard to buy a house. Here's the steps. How does that work?
So I will set up a buyer strategy meeting pretty much, and we'll discuss what goal they have in mind. What is it that they're hoping to achieve when it comes to the location, style, price point of the home, and then we discuss how to get there. We lay out a plan and how to move forward. And I will go as far as deeply diving in with you in regards to what the lenders do, but not doing their job. Of course, we can't practice it. But I don't leave my buyer hanging by telling them, go get pre-approved and then come see me when you're done. I believe my job starts before and during and after the process. I will walk you through that whole entire thing.
Because there's a lot of things that they have to do to be prepared.
That's correct.
As far as when we talk about the first-time buyer that might be thinking, well, I don't have enough money saved up. Mm-hmm. There's even some mortgage people have down payment assistance and things like that.
Right.
So
it's important for me to put them in touch with those lenders, and that'll offer those programs to them or have those type of incentives for them.
In terms of social media, what kind of social media do you find is helping your cause the most, and what platforms do you like?
I like to use Facebook. I'm very active on there, and Instagram even. I'm connected on TikTok, but because of my nieces and nephews, they're more like, and I notice our younger generation is prone into that. So I'm happy that the government didn't get rid of it. It's back. So I can grow my business on there as well. But
so that helps.
Facebook and Instagram is where I'm heavily.
So when you're on Facebook, how do you use that? Do you put your listings on Facebook and that gets a response?
It does. You'd be surprised. I have clients come to me. I saw that you had this property listed and I want to come and check it out. Or, even if they're not interested in that property, they're interested in moving forward with real estate because they saw something that I've marketed before. So it's great in terms of interacting with new potential clients.
And as far as the first time buyer, I guess sometimes it's an individual, but it could also be, I'm remembering my early days, it could be a couple, right? Mm-hmm. They're out there. It must be a sense of satisfaction when someone's been in an apartment, and especially if they thought, well, I can't buy this home or whatever, and then there you go, you get it done, you close, and everybody's happy. How do you like that part?
I know it's extremely satisfying, especially, being a first-time home buyer at one point in time myself. I'm now in my second home. I know what it was like whenever, we were purchasing and paying the rent fees. People were paying in leases what they could be paying on their own mortgage nowadays. So it's really important to make them realize that they can too own as long as they get the correct steps in order. They get everything else in place so they can get to that point. And my job is to help them understand that.
Go back to the criminal justice. Now, what were you doing in that criminal justice world?
I received my degree in criminal justice back in 2016, and I immediately went to work at a justice of the peace in Montgomery County. I worked there for 5 years as a criminal clerk, and I also was civil and criminal court clerk certified.
You've seen some things. It must have been very interesting and a great preface to the real estate profession.
Montgomery County cracks down on their crimes. So yeah, I've seen some things.
I hear they run a tight ship.
They definitely run a tight ship. So as far as the assault situations or tickets, JP is the lowest court in the land, but we have the highest volume, is what my judge always said. So yeah, I've seen my fair share of people. But
Justice of the Peace, they're marrying people too. Is that ever happened? They'd come in, hey, do you take this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you take this bride to be your lawyer? Yes.
And now here you are as the realtor. Do you take this home to be your real home?
Yeah, that's right. So now after they do that part, then we come in, and sometimes the house comes first. Whatever, this day and age, I'm okay. I'll go with the times.
I think my next career is going to be in criminal justice. It sounds too cool. Candace, let's tell people, Candace Gilbert with Realty One. Candace, let's tell people how they can reach out to you.
I am available on, like I said, Candace Gilbert Realtor on Facebook, Instagram. You can reach out at Candace Gilbert, homesoldgold.com. My email is candace@homesoldgold. My phone number is 936-689-5922. Again, that is 936-689-5922.
Candace, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bill, for having me.
Let's talk to Sahar Senamar. And changing gears just a little bit, Sahar is with a company called Cantoni Modern Furniture. So we're going to talk a little bit about furnishings and some of the things Sahar is doing. Sahar, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Bill, for having me.
Well, it's great to see you.
Thank you.
It's going to be nice to talk about something a little bit different, but it's so important to the home is the way we furnish the home, correct?
I agree.
So first of all, let's tell people about the company that you've been with 18 years.
Yes.
Cantoni.
That's right. Cantoni has been the premier destination for modern Italian furnishing over 41 years, since 1984. We currently have 14 showrooms all over United States, and I am located in Houston showroom.
And you've been there at this...
And I have been with the company over 18 years.
That's a long time.
As an interior designer. Thank you.
So you have the skills. I mean, your company has the furnishings, and you have the skills to help put the home together in a tremendous way.
Come true and make it a reality for them.
Well, that's awesome. And of course, I remember Cantoni driving around Houston in the early days, and even just recently, you're right there on Westheimer Road.
Yes, we are 9889 Westheimer Road, right between Beltway 8 and Gessner.
And let's tell people the website, by the way.
It is www.cantoni.com.
And I say that because before you came on the show today, I went on the website, and it's interesting to see the beautiful furnishings, the colors, the style. And when we think about, quote, modern furnishings, there's also some things that seem to fit in almost any environment.
I agree with you, yes. Our furniture is mainly contemporary and modern, but we do have furnishing that can accommodate any decor from traditional to more transitional. And we do a lot of custom, so if we need to adjust, that one specific client and make something more traditional looking by changing the fabric, the finish of the wood, we can definitely do that.
Because, there's so many things that come into play: colors, styles,
Textures,
shapes,
yes.
and especially textures. And the average person, let's say someone like me, I know when I look at a room, I can say, man, that's how I'd want my house to look. But I have no idea how to get there, right?
Yes.
So just give us an idea if someone's out there and maybe they just moved into their new home and they're starting fresh on furnishings. With your eye on what you know as a designer, what are some of the things that we could think about when we look at a living room that's empty? How do we get it to be where we need it to be?
Yes, I would suggest by first finding what is more comfortable for them as far as, for example, the sofa, the accent chairs, or the recliner. Narrow down to those options, and then we can move to coffee tables and a smaller piece accessorizing it, rugs and accent pillows.
So start big.
The big picture.
The big piece, and then we see
And
what
we
else is
start.
going to work around it.
Yes.
And I think when we talk about sofas and things like and sectionals, they're so important because they need to be comfortable.
Because you spend a lot of time, relaxing, reading, watching TV. So it has to be the right configuration, the right comfort for you. And then the rest is just, selecting colors and textures.
And again, those things, it's like even in the real estate purchase, all the decisions and details can be overwhelming. If someone comes to you, a family or an individual, they come to the store and they say, "Hey, Sahar, where do I begin?" You help them with both things, picking things out. And tell us about that.
If you walk into the showroom, we'll be very happy to help you. We walk around together. We look at each furniture. You try them. You see what is best for you. And then once we know this frame will accommodate your needs the best, we can look at sizes, colors, options, and then we can order them for you. And then once I know those pieces, then my job is to help you find the coffee table, rugs, accent pieces that go with your decor.
What about lighting?
Yes,
Lighting is also very
We can
important.
also help you with the lighting too. We represent a lot of different manufacturers out of Italy for lighting fixtures.
A lot of good stuff comes from Italy.
Yes, and nice details. I can sit here all day long and tell you about all these beautiful products that we carry, but unless you walk in and see them in person and try them and touch them, then you will really realize how beautiful they are.
And the stores, certainly the ones here that you're at, is in Houston. But where are the other stores you have?
Yes, we do have other locations all over U.S. We have from West Coast, we have California, all the way to East Coast, Washington, D.C.
So of all the things you could be doing here, 18 years ago, you decided to be in helping people furnish their homes.
Yes.
What made you choose this profession?
To be an interior designer is a lot of fun. To make a client's, dream come true is very rewarding. Also, I like to be creative, and that allows me to be creative because each client is different. And it's fun to go through colors, fabrics, textures, furniture selection together and make them happy. And also, last but very important for me is I love a good challenge. It is really nice to meet that one client who has a special needs, who needs a dining table, as an example, for 20 guests. And there are not that many companies out here that can make this happen for you. But here we are, we do have the resources to make that happen. We can work with any budget. Any client with tight budget, we can help them.
You were mentioning someone that could have 20 guests. Now,
Yes.
that made me think right away, that's going to be a big table.
Yes.
Okay. But it also made me think of all the varieties of homes that we have here, from a modest home of whatever sort, 2,000 square feet, maybe a 1,500 square foot apartment or something, but all the way up to some of the grand homes. in the massive homes
Yes.
and very expensive homes we have here, I mean, there's all sorts of things that people need in all these different habitations, so to speak, right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
You must have been in some nice homes along the way.
Yes, many nice homes. Yes, I have seen a lot.
Well, one thing I won't be ordering is a dining room set for 20. Just saying. Maybe a nice sectional.
I know.
Right?
I said for just that one specific
That
client,
one person, yeah.
we can make it happen.
But you made it happen for them.
Yes, we did.
So that sounds pretty nice. So when someone comes into the store, and also before we forget, we're talking residential. Are you helping people with offices and places of business as well?
Yes, we do. We do mainly residential, but we can also help with commercial and hospitality design. So if I have a client and they need help with their office project, the lobby, the reception, or the restaurant or bar, we're more than happy to help them with that.
And when we think about that, whether it's a home, and especially when I visit offices and look at buildings, even in person or on TV and things, it's so important, the impression, especially when you mention a lobby, when we walk into a place, just like here at the studio, it makes a statement. It's nothing
It's the
elaborate.
first thing you see.
But it's the first thing you see, puts you in a certain mood, and it's so important.
I agree with you. Yes, as you walk in or to any restaurant, to a commercial building, it is really important for it to be well furnished, and people will feel more comfortable.
We're talking with Sahar Senamar with Cantoni Furniture right here in Houston. So, Sahar, let's say someone wants to come in, and certainly they can look at the website, see some of the different pieces that are there. But if they want the services to where they say, hey, Sahar, we want to buy some of this stuff, but we need you to see the home, the room, et cetera. How does that work? How's that process?
We offer in-home appointments as well, where we can meet the clients, we can take measurements, and then we do have a 3D rendering that can visualize how the project will look like, just to show clients, and we can meet and go from there.
And when someone walks in to buy some of these pieces, are they buying one at a time, or are you selling like a whole group at a time? How does that work?
We have both. We really like the projects more because we can pass the design that we want when everything is from Cantoni, and the whole look is very cohesive. But then there are also times that clients, they do a couple of pieces from us and some pieces from another company. So it depends.
So, and right now in the world of beautiful furnishings, how's business running right now for y'all?
It's going great. It's
so
fine.
2025
Yes.
is the year of Italian beautiful furniture, right?
Yes.
Sahar, let's tell people how they can reach you.
They can always call me or text me. My direct line is 713-231-5512. 713-231-5512.
And let's remind people of the website, because when I saw the website before the show here, it's very engaging, very colorful, and I love the different styles.
Yes, the website is www.cantoni.com.
Sahar Senamar.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is once again, John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance.
Howdy, Bill. Always a pleasure.
And here we are, another Go Texan. I don't know if this is our last or next to the last. I'll have to check on the rodeo calendar, John.
I think you probably have one more, Bill.
One more, so I'll have to into my hat rotation. That means I'll start with the one I started with next week.
Well, they've all been sharp.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
They've
As
all
your
been
Blazers
sharp.
are.
Well, thank you.
So,
Thank you.
So here we are, insurance time once again, Singing Cadets, Texas A&M. People know you as the insurance voice right here for Real Estate Matters and Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance, but also you're a Texas A&M graduate, just like
correct.
Rishi is our
Just like
first
Rishi,
guest.
yes. And we've had excellent, especially good guests today because of that.
Indeed. I mean, there's something distinctive about the Texas A&M graduates. They're doing so much to help the world.
All of us are quite brilliant. I agree with that. Yes.
No doubt about it. But and like you found yourself in the insurance profession of all things.
I did. I was fortunate enough to find my way here. It took me a bit, but I'm glad to be here and glad to be part of the Stewart Insurance team.
Well, today we always wait for the great insurance words. What do we have today?
Well, we've got a new offering that we're providing our business insurance clients and prospective clients. So, we offer the continuing education classes that we've mentioned here before, and those are tools that allow the broker and the realtors to provide some additional guidance for their clients. There are tools that come out of that and nuggets that come out of those classes that allow those folks to do a better job in better supporting their clients and meeting their needs. So, we have the two sides of water where we talk about flood insurance and then water damage through the home insurance policy, and property insurance essentials for real estate professionals, where we look at 6 different types of property, and based upon how that property is being used drives the coverage that would be needed. And then the real estate liability, reduce your risks, where we look at 7 risks that realtors face every day, and then 8 ways that they can offset or minimize those risks, and then ways we can offset the exposure through some different insurance products. So we support our brokers that way, and obviously we support them with business insurance. But related to that, we've added an insurance and risk management assessment program now, where we'll work with our clients or prospective clients and do an analysis of their business insurance. We do this at no charge, and give them a feel for, is the coverage that they have the right coverage? And if it is, we'll be sure and let them know that it is. And if there are some gaps that we see, we can share with them what those gaps are. So it gives them at least a bit of a peace of mind as they're now analyzing the coverage that they have, or if they're waiting to see the value that we could bring to the table.
Well, one thing that Facebook tells me is you've been very busy with these classes, because every time I open up Facebook, which is frequently, I know the two sides of water. It seems like I'm seeing a lot of your presentations on the two sides of water. So, I mean, that one's incredible, and I know that brings a crowd. But you're out there in a massive way, John.
Well, we are, and as we're getting closer to hurricane season, the two sides of water does become a popular class, and that's just what we were trying to do with the insurance risk management assessment, was how can we provide additional value for our clients? Because it's important to us that if we can demonstrate value, then we've earned the right to ask for somebody's business. But the first step we've got to be able to do is demonstrate that value. So, we'll take a look at overall what that policy would look like, and then we'll come back and provide a specific assessment of the policy and let you know, are there holes in it? Are there situations where maybe the coverage could be different or better, or you've got really solid coverage, you're in good shape. We'll also take a look at, what are your current risk management procedures? What policies and procedures do you have in place to minimize those risks? And we'll take a look at that, and are there some things that could be done differently or may need to be done going forward in order to have the coverage that you would like to have. And we do that through a couple of ways, obviously through the experience of our insurance advisors, but we do have some artificial intelligence technology now that we use that helps us with that evaluation.
When you say experienced advisors, I'm going to embellish that, because we said just a few shows ago, we did it again, and that is you have people that have been with the company in the insurance world for decades at Stewart Insurance. The same people, very knowledgeable, learning all the time under the super culture of Stewart Insurance, where learning is a constant thing through the decades.
Well, it is. Our first guiding principle is lifetime learning. So, we encourage and support our team on a regular basis to continue to learn and understand, because we have different products and services that are coming and going, different insurance companies that are working with the insurance companies to improve what those policies look like. So it's always important for us to keep abreast of what's happening in the marketplace. So again, we can make sure that our clients are properly insured.
And a lot of people may not know, they probably put the pieces together, but in addition to the insurance world, as you serve at Stewart Insurance, you're also in the community. Houston Mortgage Bankers Association. John, I mean, I don't know, the list is pretty long, but let's remind people some of the things that you do to get the word out for Stewart Insurance, but also to serve the community in these organizations.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, so we try to live where our clients are, our prospective clients are. So I'm on the board of the Houston Independent Real Estate Brokers Association. I'm on the board of the Houston Mortgage Bankers Association, and I'll be the incoming president in June. And then with HAR, I'm part of their risk management advisory group.
Here you go. That's all just on a Tuesday, right?
That's just Tuesday. That's correct, yeah.
But all those things have responsibilities, but also you going back to the culture of Stewart Insurance, the lifelong learning. Look at the things that you get to contribute, but also learn with these various groups.
Well, I mean, that's part of my responsibility is to have a feel for what's happening in the marketplace and being able to share that with the team, but also as an ambassador for the company so that, I can build our awareness, build our brand, show value, deliver value, and through that earn the right to ask somebody for their business. And
a regular contributor right here on AM 950 KPRC every week.
Every week, yes. No, this is a major tool that we have that I'm fortunate enough to be a part of is the Real Estate Matters and all the folks that it touches on a regular basis.
Well, the one thing I don't know that you haven't done yet that I know of. Now, have you written a book yet, John?
I have not.
That's next. Could be.
Could be.
I'll buy one.
Okay.
And,
Now I got one sell.
Then you could be right there as an author, media personality, doing so many great things.
Yes. Let me sell a few more policies and let's get a few more people properly insured, and then we'll look at working on the book.
Well, let's tell people about that term, properly insured, because that's one of the things that's unique, I think, in terms of how we assess our insurance needs, and also how Stewart Insurance, the associates, look at the potential market and how you help people. Properly insured is a very important term.
It simply means that whatever coverage a client has, whether it be an individual, a family, or a real estate business, are they comfortable with the coverage they have, and are they aware of what they do and they don't have? Because everybody's decisions are going to be different depending upon where they are in their family's life or in their business life. That we're always going to be changing our coverages based upon what our needs are. So all properly insured means is that you're comfortable with what coverage you have, what responsibilities you're taking on as an individual or a business versus what responsibilities you're offsetting to the insurance company. If you're comfortable with that, then in our world, you're properly insured. And that could be a very conservative policy or it could be a very robust coverage.
And as far as people hearing the segment right now, that may trigger them to say, I wonder if I'm properly insured. But one of the things I think that happens, at least mostly with me, is when we get an insurance renewal, then we say, I better look at this policy again. What's the price going to be? What am I really covered for? And things like that.
We're seeing more and more of that because of the changes that are happening in the marketplace. We're spending a lot of time working with our clients about looking at what they currently have and seeing if it does make sense. And sometimes, decisions are made strictly on the cost of the insurance, the premium, and that's understandable. Well, we just want to make sure is that if you're making a decision solely on the cost of the insurance, the premium, that you do understand what is and is not covered, because what we don't want to have happen is somebody to assume they have coverage and they don't.
And this is also the time of year where we've been into the new year, 2025, long enough to where if we've made a goal, we can assess, hey, are we on track for that New Year's resolution, right?
Well, it is. And I think the other thing that's encouraging is that we're seeing, at least for the greater Houston area, we're starting to see some more companies get back into have an appetite for coverage. We're seeing some companies be a bit more aggressive in the types of coverage that they're offering for the greater Houston area. So that's why it's important to work with an independent broker like Stewart Insurance that has access to a variety of companies so that we can build that best policy with the best insurance partner that we can based upon what our clients' needs are.
Well, also, and no one cares, but I am on track for one of my New Year's resolutions.
And that is?
To eat more ice cream.
Okay.
And I'm on track. It's working.
Okay.
I love ice cream. I kind of forgot about it the last couple of years, but now A little bit of ice cream every now
So
and
what
then.
is the go-to ice cream for Bill Knapik?
I like the drumsticks with the nuts on them, and also Oreo makes one to where it's a drumstick, but it's with Oreo. I'm getting hungry right
You
now.
got a lot of in the studio after.
No doubt about it, but ice cream is good in moderation.
In moderation.
John, let's tell people how they can reach out to Stewart Insurance.
They can reach us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827. You can learn more about us at stewartinsurance.com, and you can email us at stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
And let's say someone's in Pennsylvania and they want to be properly insured. What number should they call?
They should call 866-798-2827. We're fortunate to have clients all over the U.S., both business and personal.
John Bramlett with Stewart Insurance. Thank you, John.
Bill, always a pleasure.
And now we have two business development people right here for Stewart Title. That means around the city, around the country, we have people that are there to help the real estate community. And right now, from Conroe and Magnolia, the one and only Hope Moy. Hope, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bill. It's good to see you today.
Here you are. I hear you had a little bit of traffic coming there from the northern.
I did, but here I am. I made it.
Stress-free, wearing a little bit of
Stress-free.
green here for the St.
Yes.
Patrick's Day recording.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Two offices. They do a lot to serve the community there at Stewart Title, where
Yes, sir.
you're an ambassador. Let's tell people about those two offices.
So I have two offices, one in Magnolia off of 1488 and the other in Conroe off of 336. I have 5 escrow officers in total, 3 in Magnolia and 2 in Conroe.
That sounds awesome. So if someone wants to reach you because you have John up there for classes sometimes, you're
Yes,
doing
sir.
fun things, educational things, how can people reach you?
So call me at 346-224-1908. Again, my number is 346-224-1908. We would love to work with anyone. We are growing. Montgomery County is people are moving out our way.
They're moving everywhere, Hope. I was on one of those main roads up there, and it seemed like everything was new, from a Whataburger, a car wash. I mean, they were like all put up at the same time right up there by your area.
Yes, we
It's
had.
crazy.
There were there's a median going in front of our office.
There's
so
a lot of construction.
A lot of construction, but it is almost done. It's almost done, but it is clear in front of my Magnolia office now. So,
And that's where people need to bring their real estate contracts right there to
Yes.
Stewart Title, Magnolia and Conroe. The phone number for Hope, that's you, again, is
346-224-1908.
good to see you again, Hope.
Good to see you. Thank
And
you, Bill.
now, the opposite side of town, kind of, sort of, Kevin Davidson, serving Sugarland, How Sweet It Is, and Fort Bend County, right there. 2 locations, right, Kevin, for Stewart Title.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Bill. And I'm very surprised you just figured out Sugarland was named after Imperial Sugar.
It makes you
Wow.
think that I should have put that piece together since 1980 or something like that,
3
huh?
years ago when Jennifer hired me, it was one of the first things I learned.
Well,
That first week I was there.
and the million times I've been through and around Sugarland, I see that Imperial sign, and I'm thinking, hey. So in the meantime, there you are, serving people in a tremendous way. Stewart Title.
Yes, sir.
Let's tell people about your offices.
So, like Hope, I represent 2 offices as well, Sugarland and Richmond. And like Hope, I have 5 escrow officers. 4 of them are in the Sugarland office. 1's in Richmond, and 1 of them in Sugarland speaks Vietnamese.
That's right, Van.
There you go.
In fact, Van was one of the first people I met when I started
She
at
worked
Stewart.
for Stewart Title for 15 years before she walked away,
And then came back.
and then came back to us about 2 months ago.
Well, I hope she's listening, because Van is awesome, as are all the associates at both of the offices.
Yes, sir. We have a great team in both offices, and we're growing just like Hope said she was. So things are going good in Fort Bend County.
It's exciting. Kevin, let's tell people how they can reach you.
832-654-0527. 832-654-0527.
Good to see you again. And now he is
Sir.
back, Rishi Naran with the Naran Group. Rishi, welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much.
Well, here
Good to
we
be
are.
back.
Before we close the show, Rishi, what else should people know about your company?
Yeah, I think a lot of people spoke about one key word, which I think is the most important thing in today's market: helping people. I think the world's gotten very digital, very handheld. People are glued to their phones a lot. At the end of the day, this world we live in, this real estate world we live in, it's still human. It still requires you to look somebody in the eye, touch it, feel it, all the things in the house. it really requires a human interaction. And I think whilst everything else in the world is going to try to go as digital as possible, I think with real estate, it is going to remain human for a while. And that's where we pride ourselves. We don't take on every client. We will happily tell somebody that we can't work with you, because we want to make sure that when we can work with somebody, they get our full undivided attention, not just mine, my mom's as well too. So we are a team, we work together, we're lockstep, and we take pride in what we do. We take pride in helping people and seeing those families grow.
And what's your mom's name?
Her name is Harsha Naran.
Is she listening probably? We want to say hello to her.
Highly likely she's listening.
Hi, Mom.
Awesome. Hi, Mom.
There you go. Rishi, let's tell people how they can reach you.
Yep, 281-772-2968. That's 281-772-2968.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Bill. Have a good day.
Candace Gilbert is back. Realty One. Candace, before we close the show, what else should we know?
I would just like any potential buyers that are still out there in the market or sellers to understand that the market waits for no one. Interest rates and the cost and the price of homes are going to ever change. So don't wait for it to, come down or up or fluctuate. Buy now, lock in that interest rate sooner so that you can build equity faster.
So when would a good time to buy would be?
Right now.
There you go.
Like yesterday.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. Well, Candace, let's tell people how they can reach you. Candace Gilbert.
936-689-5922.
Candace says buy now.
Buy now.
Sounds good to me. The phone number again is?
936-689-5922.
Thanks, Candace.
Thank you, Bill.
And now we have someone who's not quite a real estate agent. She doesn't have her license, but I want to ask her a quick word. Her name is Tasha Rodriguez. She's thinking seriously about the real estate profession. Tasha, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you. Well, first of all, in a quick word, we only have a little bit of time. Tell us why you're interested in the real estate profession.
Listen, I'm in the law side of it with estate planning, and I see probates. I see people that have land and various real estate properties, and I want them to be protected. So I want to be able to be a specialist for the probate and for divorcees and things of that sort to be able to be able to promote that for their families. So that's the reason why I say, you know what, instead of doing these referrals and trying to get realtors to have that, I want to be able to provide that through the law firm that I'm with Burns Phillips Law Firm as well.
It's interesting that so many things trigger a real estate transaction, and your legal eye or perspective is very interesting.
Yes.
Well, that sounds good. Just curious about that, and good luck to you on your profession.
Yes.
In real estate. It's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. And now Sahar is back. Cantoni. Well, Sahar, welcome back.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Okay, so it's you and I. We're closing the show down.
Yes.
A final word about Cantoni. First of all, let's tell them the website again.
It is www.cantoni.com.
And all you have to do is call Sahar. You can help people with some beautiful furniture and also design ideas, right?
That's right. I would love to meet you. I would love to invite you to come to our showroom and allow me to help you. And you can always call me at 713-231-5512. And once again, my direct number is 713-231-5512.
And you think your husband's listening to the show right now?
I am sure he is.
I think he's right here looking at us, isn't he? He's all right. Ali Galan with American.
He's my number one fan.
He is the number one fan, American Property Tax Service. He's awesome. Yes. You're awesome. Thank you, Sahar, for being with us.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you so much. This was great.
And thank you all for being with us today. Real Estate Matters with Stuart Title. I am your host, Bill Knapik. Simply go to stewart.com/radio. That's right. You can see the guests. You can go to the show archives at stewart.com/radio. Bill Knapik right here together with John Bramlett, all of us at Stewart Title and Stewart Insurance. We appreciate you listening, and we will see you next week.
When it comes to real estate, everything matters. Whether you're a broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, for informative and entertaining information when it comes to owning, buying, and selling real estate, tune in Sundays at 5 p.m. to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title.